Photography Daily, the assignment.
Would you like a 7-day challenge that really is one across 7 days? Well, this one will impress us both. That is both myself and the assignment setter, Gabrielle Motola. Monday is assignment day, yes, where our friend Gabrielle, our special guest friend, will set a really appropriate photography challenge, or a way to think about your picture making for the next week. It's a challenge for everyone, whatever kind of photography interests you, whatever camera you hold in your hand. It's really, as I say every Monday, all about the picture that you see. As always, there's a show page on the website, photographydaily.show, and I'd love you to share the pictures you make for this challenge, which I can then upload to the show page for this edition. And you can check back, of course, to see pictures from previous editions. And before we meet Gabrielle, who also understandably has a cheeky plug, not so hidden, within her challenge today, my thanks to our wonderful patrons and mpb.com, who sponsor this show, the #1 company in the UK, the US and Europe, when it comes to buying and selling and trading quality used camera kit online. It's a safe place to do business, as I say, with guarantees upon what you buy, and that's important. Right, would you like to win a Fujifilm X100V, the camera I use often on the photo walk shows of Friday? If you would, then you need to be taking part for the next 5 days, because we're coming to the very last knockings of the opportunity to vote. If you're listening to this, of course, on the very first day of August 2022, that is, in MPB's Photo and Video Kit Hall of Fame for 2022. Friday, 5th of August, is the last day you can vote. If you go to the website address, which is photoandvideokithalloffame.com, or go to today's show page for this show, which you'll find as a hyperlink in the description on the app you're using, you can scan through 5 category boxes that will appear, which offer you a chance to vote for camera kit that you think is groundbreaking, a solid piece of kit, a dependable piece of kit, something that's earned its colours, its right to be in the history of photography, old or reasonably new. Those categories being Trendsetter, #1, #2 is Game Changer, 3 Classic, 4 Iconic, and 5 Road Tested. They are the categories that you can click within to reveal kit that an esteemed panel of photographers have voted the kind of gear that has or is groundbreaking. And I picked out one from each. Don't vote for these necessarily, but these are just the ones I picked. In the Trendsetter category, it holds the Leica Q2, for which I'm salivating and rubbing my knees. As you know, Game Changer, that's another category, and this holds the, for me, the GoPro Max, which isn't or wasn't just an action cam, it does 360. The Classic category had some cameras. This was a tricky one for me. It also had a lens, which I think is a classic in so many photographers' camera bags, the 70-200. This one being flavoured Canon in the category that you can vote within this year. But it's a focal length that I think is very precious to many social and editorial and sport photographers. Iconic, that's another category you can choose. Now, if you're going to say I am biased, I will throw my hands in the air and say, fair dues, you've got me. But the Fujifilm X100 is in there, and you know my love affair with that camera, even though the original wasn't exactly my favourite. And then Road Tested, for which I've chosen from the 5 items you can vote for, the Nikon, wherever you come from in the world, you'll pronounce it differently, Z or Z7. Now, I know you're going to be shouting Sony at me, and Sony does appear, quite rightly, in other categories. But that's the beauty of this Hall of Fame, isn't it? You will have different choices to me, and that's to be celebrated. So enter by following the link on the show page, or the one already mentioned, Photo and Video Kit halloffame.com. Photo and Video Kit halloffame.com. Register your name, go through the categories and vote. Simple as. And then hopefully you can win the grand prize of that X100V. Good luck, and thank you mpb.com for being so rock solid yourself in your belief in this podcast. Right, let's meet our guest for today, setting you a challenge for the new week. This one is, as my Australasian friends would say, a doozer. This most certainly is challenge set. Surprise us. That's both myself and Gabrielle with your amazing pictures, please.
The assignment.
So, second assignment. Now this one is definitely up your street, as they would say.
Yeah. Okay. So this one, obviously, I'm going to ask you to do this, and it might not be comfortable and you might not be able to do it, but you should try. I want you to make a portrait of a stranger every day for a week.
Every
7
day.
portraits.
Every day.
Every single
Every
day.
Right.
Every day. I know you're not going to want to do it. You're going to find all the excuses. You're busy. You can't. You're going to resist it. But the point is, it's like going to the gym. It's really hard the first 2-3 days, but then when you find yourself reversing, and now it's harder not to do it.
Yeah.
And part of what's really helped me with my photography, and certainly with the practice that I have with street portraits, is making it a habit. Because if you make it a habit, the energy becomes centrifugal, like it carries over. I don't know if that's the right word, but you get like a momentum.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to put so much emotional energy into doing it, because you just, like brushing your teeth, you don't think about it, you just do it. So if you can do it every day for a week, you'll find a difference at the end of the week in terms of your resistance will go down, even in a week. And if you're really terrified about doing it, I would say definitely take my workshop. I was sorry to plug it, but the next one's on August 13th. And I had to cancel the one in July because I got COVID. But
oh no.
So you could save that workshop. You could save that assignment for, later, but, challenge yourself. See if you can do it.
I'm just going to throw something in here just to be a bit contrary for a moment. It's okay for you, Gabrielle. You live in London and you see thousands of people walk past you every day and you never have to see them again in your life. I live in outer Boodly Bloob, a total number of people living in it of 82. I can't possibly find enough people to photograph.
You can't find 7 people with an 82.
Well, okay, what about so perhaps the people that feel, how some say that it's harder to photograph in your hometown when people know you? It's
a mentality thing. Yeah. So, most of the stuff, like most of the work I do on myself in photography is all about like the mental space that I occupy in my head.
Yeah.
So you're telling yourself a story about the people you know, that you can't photograph them because you know them and they're going to think you're weird. You're making it up.
Yeah.
You don't actually know until you try. And you'll probably find that you're very surprised at what you actually find in reality. And that's really valuable for not just photography, but for life. And this is like what, this is like what this is what I'm teaching on that workshop. So even if you live in the middle of nowhere, you might go into the shop and there's a shopkeeper, photograph a shopkeeper.
Yes.
You might be in, I don't know, you might take a walk down the canal with your dog. You ever pass people on the canal?
Yeah, lots of times.
There you go. It's just one person a day. Yeah. And if you don't, so what you don't want to do is think about the whole week.
No.
You just want to get up and go about your day, and your only task for the day is to photograph one person. Yeah. That's it. Just take it day by day. Don't let yourself jump ahead and get overwhelmed. Don't think of the whole. Just take it step by step and see what happens.
I was thinking about you at the weekend as I went photographing with my young son who loves trains, as you know. And we found ourselves on, I think it might have been the King's Cross moment. And I found myself talking to a guard, photographing him, making a portrait of him. You learn a lot more about people holding a camera, don't you, than you otherwise would. You'd normally walk past them and say, hello, but now I know he's Ben, and I know he earns what he earns a year, and I know that he makes 5% more if he does the ticket job with it as well, and I know that he likes to go on holiday to Dorset, and I know that he has a dog, and I'm trying to remember the dog's name because he did tell me. But all these things that you learn about somebody by holding a camera.
Yeah, and then you're in the world, We're not running around in our heads.
Yeah.
We're all here together. We really are all here together, but we all are here together in our head. It's our culture. It's our society. It's the way that we're shaped. It's not our fault. We are steeped in that. And so, the camera is a great excuse to talk to people because you have a reason. If you just go out and start talking to people, they're not sure of your motivation, but with a camera, it's clear. It's like I'm making a picture of you and we're going to have an exchange of words. Usually. And you learn things about people, and people like to talk about themselves. They like to be seen. They like to be, most people, I find.
Gabrielle, you've just given people a chance to find 7 new friends this week. That could be another way to look at it. Good luck with this one.
Yeah, I mean, they don't even have to be friends. It literally, it's kind of, I kind of like that I don't see a lot of people, like I never see them again.
And that's our challenge for this week. We will be delighted to see what you produce, and we'd love to show them on today's corresponding show page on the website photographydaily.show. And I might just add, I've been on Gabrielle Street Portraits course since she mentioned it. I've lived to tell the tale, and I've been practicing ever since. Much work to do, but very happy. Music on the show today from artslist.io, Neil Ford, Emily Renier and Andrea Gilpin. Thank you for your support work behind the scenes. No photo walk show this Friday. We're on summer recess for a couple of weeks. We got a lot of work to do around the house. Though patrons, you kind of have a walk of your own on The More Show this Saturday, and it will be in a slightly different location. So I look forward to photographing with you, hearing from you and talking with you next time.
The Assignment is a Loading Zone production.